Hi there, it's Lori, and I'm here with a different kind of yarn management. Y'all know I have a lot of heavy creams. Okay, so heavy creams are I have all the yarn in a bag, project bag, preferably, but not always, and they have not been worked at all. So they're not a work in progress. So they're not a whip. So before you whip up your cream, it's heavy cream, right? So that's what that means. Crafting Kitty has been doing yarn management. Her yarn management is actual like yarn stash. I'm pretty controlled with that right now. Almost everything is where it belongs. I do have to put the yarn back for what I made, but I wanted to show you that I had a heavy cream. This yarn was in there, along with that's a nice close up. Sorry. That's really funny. I don't know why I think that's so funny. Anyway, and this big twist plush. Well, you can see those yarn weights are not the same, so I had to double this up. So I did a little cake so I could pull from inside and outside and put it on this part of the yarn genie. Anyway, so this yarn is here. This yarn, the Chicks and Bunnies, right? That's the name of it. Chicks and Bunnies by the Bernat Baby Blanket. There's none left. That's it. Let me see if I've got a scrap. Here's a scrap. That's how much is left, right? I might have like 3 of these. I have no more of this. So, Armchair Chef Lori said that there is a colorway actually labeled buttered popcorn. So I'm going to check it out. If anybody's interested, this is the front. Because I went back and added, I just kind of did popcorn stitches randomly, double crochet. Initially, I was kind of using a Bag a Day toddler or child size pumpkin hat, but I didn't really end up following her pattern other than I'll go ahead and link it because I love that hat. I have made that. I need to make another one um, for my grandson because I made it for my granddaughter. Anyway, I can almost okay. So that there it is. It's popcorn in a tub. I can almost get this hat on, but well, I kind of can, right? And it folds up nicely and still looks like the tub, but it's definitely baby size because my head doesn't quite fit in there. There's a loose end. All right. I know I wove everything in, so I'm just going to cut that off. All right. So in this process, it was also, I wanted to test this yarn right here. Soho Velvety Soft. So it did not shed anywhere near as bad as a chenille, but I still did use I had this little bit of scrap cotton. I used this in the center, remember, with the magic ring. And then you pull, even though the chenille wasn't there, but just for the blanket yarn. And you can see that just works so well to hide that. But please let me know if any of you would like a tutorial on this adorable baby popcorn hat. And now this probably will fit the baby in the late winter. We get winter all the way till at least April. We have some winter days, sometimes in May. Yeah, it's really special here in Colorado. But sometimes we don't even get snow until December. So who knows? Sometimes we get snow in September. So we could have snow in September. We've even had snow in early June. Yeah, it's wild times here. Anyway, so there is the hat. It can be folded up. I figure with the baby, it will probably need to be folded up. But I love it. I think it's so cute. Um, If I had more of this yarn, I almost could have made it adult sized, but I just barely made it that far. So, and I had about, I don't know, 2 or 3 yards, and I went ahead and added a couple more popcorns just and tied them on because I felt like I didn't do enough of that in the top. A lot of it was random. And then I see little funny things like that. I don't know why there's a big gap there, but figure if you throw that in the back, that's kind of how I set it up anyway. I put the extra little popcorns up here in the front. But there it is. So it's yarn management in that I'm managing my heavy creams. And I tested out this yarn, and here's what I can honestly say. It is very thin. Like, this would be so nice for amigurumi, like little amigurumi. Okay, I'm going to have to answer that. So I'm not going to go into any detail specifically about that phone call from my husband. But it's Father's Day, and he had to go do something called the mobile command post. Because, yeah, in addition to working in the jail, he also drives around that big giant vehicle to crime scenes. He's not like on scene. He's like over to the like off site. It depends on what they're doing, but near it. And then that's where all the people come and coordinate and talk about the stuff. And it's, yeah. Anyway, you guys can all probably put together what I'm talking about. And yes, suspicious circumstances, not okay. Anyway, this is why I could not do my husband's job. But yeah, that's in addition to his regular job. And he has to go in tonight. So his Father's Day has been work, and more work. Which I appreciate that he does that. But I feel bad for him that that's how he spent the day. Yeah. So back to what I was saying. I was doing a review. At some level I was doing a review of this. Now, I want you to see that. Yes, it is chenille, so it does shed. But that's not too bad, and I'm pulling pretty hard. And I did not get too much off. This is what I got off. All right. Oh, my nails. So this side was fine, but this side, these two were all chipped. This one is always, I don't know if I just use it the most or what. So instead of redoing my nails entirely, because this still looked great, I just did some dark purple to go with the lavender. Anyway, random things from Lori. So my review of this would be great for amigurumi. Again, for your, where did I put it? Well, just use some basic thinner than this yarn for your magic ring if you're going to use this, because if you try to pull down on this magic ring, it's just going to shed. Like I said, I was pulling pretty hard. It shed a little bit. Sheddy chenille. So you don't want that on your magic ring. So if I was using single, you could make a really nice, like, fuzzy micro, like really little amigurumi. And it feels so nice. This yarn feels so nice. But it's so much thinner than any chenille I've ever used, ever. Like, that's two together. And that's still not even as thick as most of the chenilles I've used. Anyway, but I do think it's good yarn. Just like I said, if you're going to do a magic ring or a magic circle. This is from Hirschner's. Then I do recommend using something else and then using this. Like I said, the reason I caked it up was so I could pull from the inside and the outside. This was good yarn. This is Big Twist Plush. I there were some elements of this I liked more than Bernat Blanket, and some elements I liked less. I would say it's comparable, just slightly different. It's a little thicker. Well, yeah, it's a little thicker because this is baby Bernat, and you can see that yarn. Let me. That yarn is thinner. Sorry, yeah, thinner than this yarn. So this is labeled. What is this labeled? Is this a 6 or a 7? Oh, yeah, a 6. And I think this is labeled a 6. I would definitely call this a 6. This is like a thick 5. This Chicks and Bunnies Baby Bernat. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you would like to see a tutorial or aka kind of quick pattern for this. And I could figure out adult sizes too easily. If somehow I can see Armchair Chef making this, because she already does what does she call them? The blanket helmets or the helmet hats. This would definitely go with that collection. And it was easy. It's just double crochets and popcorn stitches. And then here I would have to explain what I did here, but you can handle that any way you want. And that's just because I wanted it to look like it was in a popcorn box. All right. Yes, you got to hear my phone ring. So, and crochet all day. And again, this is going up Monday. So my yarn management this week. Thank you, Crafting Kitty, for keeping me on track. It's different yarn management because it's a heavy creams management. But now this yarn and this yarn is going to have to find new homes because they're no longer part of a heavy cream, right? Because I did it. I made the thing. So they're going to need to find homes. Oh, I forgot to talk about what hook I use. So I wanted to try out this Prym hook. This is my other 9mm that I like a lot. With the blanket yarn, I actually think I liked this one better. I liked how this one felt in my hand better. I still probably like this part of this hook better, but my hand didn't hurt at all using this Prym hook. So I got 2 good 9mm hooks now that I can use at any time for any project. And now these will find a home right now because that's what I've learned. I got to do it right away or else it accumulates and then I have a problem. But you might be seeing a lot of these type yarn managements where you'll see a heavy cream that it's a small heavy cream and then I'm working on it. Maybe. We'll see. And tackle it is going to be a little different tomorrow. So thank you all for coming in. And can I get an amen?